Good afternoon or good evening. Can everyone see me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Good morning,
Okay.
sir.
How's it going? So today we're gonna go over last week what we did, which was installing WordPress. So now is everyone able to get the install of XAMPP working on your local machine? Did anyone have any issues with that? Okay, very good. Um, Sumoye and if I were able to get it working, that's good. So now what I'll do is I'll just make sure everyone was able to get WordPress installed. Um, so Monique, can you share your screen so I can just see if you installed it? If not, that's no big deal. We'll walk through it. Oh, let me make you the host. I guess hold on, let me just do a quick review, refresh everyone's memory on what we're doing, what we did last time. Let me just open up the slides really quickly. Let's see. Good. Oh, that's because, okay, let me share my screen. For that, let me go ahead and start the slideshow. Okay, so last week, let me just, oh, you're not on your computer. Okay, that's fine. Let me um go over what we did last week really quickly. Let's see. So last week, can everyone see my screen? Okay, very good. So now last week we went over how to install WordPress. It was a very busy week. There was a lot of stuff to cover. So uh let me just quickly run through the big things we did. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. So I gave everyone a copy of the slides. And then a playlist on how you can download, learn more about JavaScript. Of course, we're moving on from JavaScript to PHP now. It's yet another language we're going to be learning. So we just went over the basics of JavaScript document object model. We went over how to the the how JavaScript basically reads an HTML document and how it uses the parent-child relationship that a HTML document has. And that parent-child relationship is called the document object model in JavaScript because JavaScript makes a little modification to the parent and child relationships. And then we talked about how you access the nodes or the children in the document object model and how JavaScript lets you basically change any aspect of the web page by accessing the children of any element. Okay, and then we talked about JavaScript functions, the syntax for how to write a function. The curly braces should look familiar from CSS. In CSS, we open a rule with curly braces. In JavaScript, we open a function with curly braces also, and then we close it with the closing curly brace. So very much it looks like CSS a little bit. So, and then every function has to begin with the word function. There's different ways of writing functions in JavaScript, but this is the most basic way. And then to call it, you just give the name of the function and then always the open or close brace if the function has no parameters, that is. And then you always have to end every statement in JavaScript with a semicolon, just like in CSS. You have to end every rule with a semicolon in CSS. Okay. And then we talked about the pattern, how we saw that all these languages we learned, HTML has an opening tag and closing tag. CSS, when the web browser starts interpreting CSS, it needs to see this open tag and close tag to let it know that, okay, now we're writing CSS. And then for JavaScript, it also needs this open tag and then close tag, these symbols to let the browser know when it needs to be starting to interpret what it's the code as JavaScript code or CSS code or HTML code. Then we talked about it's very important to make your web page, your code, compatible to old browsers. And to do that in HTML, you always want to add doc type HTML just in case it's an old browser to make it explicit that this is going to be HTML code until the browser reads the /HTML closing tag. And then you can even specify the language of the web page by using the attribute lang equals EN for English. And then you can also do different languages also. And for CSS, to make for your old browsers, you want to explicitly state type is text/CSS for old web browsers to let it know everything inside of these two tags is going to be CSS code. And for JavaScript, you want to basically do the same. You would say type equals text/JavaScript, and then obviously just have the closing script tag at the end to let the browser know now all the JavaScript that it needs to read has ended. And then we talked about all the languages we've learned now. HTML is hypertext markup language. It gives the structure to our web pages, and it makes use of tags. That's kind of the central idea of HTML is the use of these tags, these opening tags and closing tags, to organize the code. And then CSS makes use of these like curly braces. It's different from HTML. We're not using tags anymore. For some reason in CSS, now we're using these curly braces for our rules. So an essential idea for CSS is just that syntax for rules. And CSS is for adding stylishness to our web pages. And then we learned JavaScript. The main idea in JavaScript, there's several because it's a full-blown programming language. One of the big ideas is the document object model, how we can manipulate any element, any HTML element on a website by using the document object model or the parent-child relationships of that element. And then functions are very big in JavaScript. Functions are used to do almost everything. So we talked about the function syntax in HTML or in JavaScript. Looks a little bit similar to the syntax for CSS again, where we have the opening curly brace for the beginning of the function, and then the closing curly brace for the end of the function. And then each statement in the function has a term end with a semicolon, kind of like in CSS. But talked about introducing how you declare a variable, which is very new. We didn't have variables at all in CSS. We have variables in JavaScript. And then now we introduce a new language, PHP, which looks a little bit like something you've seen before. But the difference between the big idea for the reason why PHP is a good language is because it lets you access the server of the website. It basically talks very nicely to the server. And it also makes heavy use of functions. So it's kind of like JavaScript, but except it lives on the server. It's like a server-side language. So it's very useful in that case. Whereas JavaScript is kind of they call JavaScript a front-end language because it sort of lives in the web browser. It's mostly for the web browser, whereas PHP is for the actual server. So it's a little bit different. And then we talked about the syntax of PHP. Now we don't really have like a tag. It's this kind of question mark looking thing. It looks like an opening tag, but instead of like the other symbols you see for an opening tag, now you just have a question mark. It's like an open bracket a little bit and then a question mark. That's how you open PHP code. And then you close PHP code, very similar, but now you have this question mark in front, and then it almost looks like a closing tag a little bit, but not quite. So in PHP, this is how you open PHP code and now you close PHP code. And one of the most famous like statements in PHP is the echo statement, basically how to print something. So I just like did a quick echo demonstration, and I did it on purpose on in just a notepad to show you that it won't work unless you actually have a server running on your computer. So we went ahead and downloaded the server. Um, and then I also introduced you to WordPress last week, talked about how WordPress is a PHP-based framework. It makes building websites very easy because what's unique about PHP is PHP lets us echo out the entire HTML code. So we went over that last week, how you can echo almost anything in PHP, including HTML code, and how everything in WordPress is technically just like echo statements. There's a lot of echoing of PHP, of HTML code in a WordPress. This dashboard, the WordPress dashboard, is actually just HTML, but it's being echoed um, by PHP, and it allows for a lot of really cool things to be. Basically, you have like software. You can write software-looking things with PHP because you can basically have server-side logic, and that can be spitting out HTML code. So it's very easy for people to interact with it, almost like a user interface, like say like a Microsoft Word type of program or any operating system. It makes it very, very cool to write software with PHP. Okay, so um, that was what we did last week. Now so Monia's computer is down. Let's see. Ife, what about your laptop? Were you able to get XAMPP installed? Okay, very good. Or did you say yes? Oh, I think that was another old message. Uh, Ife, were you able to get WordPress installed on your machine or XAMPP installed? I think you're still on mute. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and share your screen, and I can show you how to open it. Let me make you the host. Good, very good. All right, excellent. So you have XAMPP. To check if your XAMPP is working correctly, just go to Windows and then like search for XAMPP real quick. Very good. Okay, so you added that recently. And now, go ahead and start the control panel. Very good. And you can start up MySQL also. MySQL is the database. Perfect. Now, to see if everything's working correctly, go to any web browser and just go to localhost. Localhost. And then that's all you need to do. Just go to localhost. Oh, looks like you're going to localhost/WordPress effect. Oh, wow. So you got everything working. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. That means you did WordPress correctly and all of that stuff. You followed the video. Like, that's beautiful. Great job. That is not easy to do. So I'm very, very impressed. I'm very impressed. So wow. Okay, fantastic. So let's just go over everything just so everyone knows where we're at. Very good job. Good job. Okay, go to just localhost. You went a little bit too far. Just go to localhost. Hit enter. And so this is the dashboard for XAMPP. So once you get this, you know that XAMPP is running correctly on your machine. and by default, it takes you to the dashboard folder. So the next step was to download WordPress. So to download WordPress, you can go to wordpress.org. So you just go to wordpress.org, just run through that. You would go to wordpress.org, but you went to wordpress.org/download. You can also click on Get WordPress in the upper right-hand corner. That'll also take you to the same place, yeah, because it's just remembering where you went last time. So you go to wordpress.org, and then you'll see that little blue button in the top right corner that says Get WordPress. You click on Get WordPress, and then it's going to take you to the latest download versions. And then it even tells you it's recommended for PHP 7.4 or greater, or MySQL version 8 or greater. You can download one that's compatible with your version of PHP. PHP as a language has different versions. So the language has been updated over time. So it's basically telling you, you want to make sure that your PHP version that you're running is at least version 7.4. And same for MySQL. MySQL has different versions. The database that is, you want to make sure that database is at least version 8.0 before you download this file of WordPress, this version of WordPress. This is 6.5.5. So we had everyone download the latest version because your PHP version will always be the latest because you're installing the latest version of XAMPP. XAMPP is going to install the latest version of PHP and the latest version of MySQL onto your computer. Okay, very good. So everyone already downloaded WordPress. Now, the tricky part, which I'm so impressed you're able to get working, is once you open up XAMPP, go back to the control panel. A lot of people struggle with actually finding the files that XAMPP is serving. So XAMPP is serving files out of the Explorer, out of a file that's in a folder called XAMPP in your C drive on your machine. An easy way to access that folder is just to click on Explorer. So go ahead and click on Explorer. Perfect. And that's going to open up the folder, the directory that XAMPP is using to serve files out of. So the directory it's using is called htdocs. It's using this entire directory, but for websites, for like HTML files, it's using the htdocs folder. So go ahead and open the htdocs folder. And everything inside of this htdocs folder is being used by XAMPP to basically serve up websites or web pages. You can see the dashboard folder right there. So everything inside of that dashboard, if you open the dashboard folder, you'll see a file called index.html. Scroll down. And that index.html file, if you open it, go ahead and just like open it in a notepad. Let me show you something. Right click on the index file. Remember, index is always going to be the default file that opens when you go to a folder. So that's something. And just go to like open with or right click on it and then select open with notepad. Open with why doesn't it give you the option? Interesting. Okay, open a notepad. Just open a notepad in general. Now, once you open up Notepad, because you're working on Windows 11, that's probably what it is. Once you open up Notepad, go ahead and like drag that index.html file into like your Notepad, and it'll open it by automatically for you. So go back to the folder and drag that index.html into the Notepad. No, just drag the icon. Hold down your mouse and drag it into the, okay, that's fine. That works too. Let it go. Try dragging it directly into the notepad, like into a new tab. Yeah, like that. Yes, let it go. Perfect. So now it opens it when you just drag it into Notepad. Now let's go ahead and change. Notice how it says "Welcome to XAMPP" on like the third line, the title of the let's change that to "Welcome to Ife's website" or something. Go down, go down. Yeah, change XAMPP to Ife's website. and then go down, and you're gonna see it's gonna show up again in the head. Yeah. So XAMPP, like you see the HTML like for inside that H1. Change the XAMPP inside that H1 to IFA's website. I just want to show you something real quick. It's called IFA's website. Yeah. And we'll leave the Apache and that MariaDB. That's fine. You can delete that actually. You can get that out of there. Yeah, that entire span, you can just delete that entire span. Everything, yeah. Go ahead and you can delete that entire. Perfect. Just delete all of that and just leave the H1. And then, yeah. And now save. Now refresh your the XAMPP dashboard. That web page. Nope, the web page, just refresh that web page. And boom. So you can see we just proved that XAMPP is using that folder. So we edited the index.html file directly, and the edits we did show up immediately in your XAMPP like homepage. So XAMPP is using that folder to serve up all the HTML files you're seeing. So go back to that folder. So we're using the dashboard folder right now. What we want to do is we want to basically make a new folder, and then we want to install WordPress into that folder. So go back to htdocs. We're going to create a new folder, and you already did that. You called it WordPress IFA. That's beautiful. And then you extracted WordPress that you downloaded, and you moved all the WordPress files you extracted into that folder called WordPress IFA. So open it up. And this has all the WordPress files that you downloaded. It's very well done. Very nice job. Importantly, the WP config folder, you did that all correctly. So by default, the WP config folder is a sample, and the example explains to you how to make your own WP config, which is critical in getting WordPress to work on your local machine. So open up the WP config sample really quickly. Open it. Yeah, perfect. And so it tells you exactly sort of how to make your own WP config version of for your own server, for your own website. It's not like a sample. And it tells you that you have to define the database name first, which means you have to create a database. So you already did that. And then where you can see, and I think it's like the 10th line down, it says database name here. You would put the database name that you created there. And then, and you can see below that, it says DB user. The DB user will always be root by default. You can make a username for yourself if you want. I can show you guys how to do that, but you just keep it simple. Just always use root. Root is always the default user. And then the password, the default password for root is always blank. So that's what we did last week. And then you don't have to mess with the host. The host is always localhost. And then scroll down. And everything else should be that's it, I believe. Scroll down. Yep, you don't touch anything there. You don't touch anything there. Yep, and then that's it. You just save it, and then you save it as WP config, not WP config sample. So you did that correctly. Once you put the database, your database name, when you create a database in there, you do that correctly. And now let's go ahead and quickly make sure everyone knows how to create a database. Since we're talking about it, go back to your XAMPP control panel. Very good. And to create a database, you're going to open up phpMyAdmin. To open up phpMyAdmin, you're going to click on, it's going to be admin under MySQL. All right, click on that button, and it's going to open up your phpMyAdmin. And you can even see the address is localhost/phpMyAdmin. So you can go directly there. You can just type localhost/phpMyAdmin, or you can click on that button. The button makes it easy to access this. So this is basically like a little dashboard for how to make databases for your PHP server. And to make a new database, you just click on the home icon in the top left corner. Very good. That takes you to the home. And then you click on new for new databases. And you already made one. So we don't need to make a new one. You already made one correctly. It's called WordPress EFAT. But basically, you just type the database name. You leave everything really the same. The encoding is perfectly fine. It's general UTF-8. And then you just click on create to create a new database. So you did that correctly. You called it WordPress EFAT. Perfect. And then that's basically it. So once you have that name of the database, we would go back to the WP config folder and just give it the name of the database you created. And again, we can make a new user if we want, but we can just leave it as root. And we could also leave the default user password as blank. You can sort of see here under user accounts in the top, you can see how you can make a new user. If you go up to the look at the top of the PHP admin, a little bit to the right, you see user accounts. Yeah, click on that. That's just to show you really quickly how you would make a new account if you didn't want to use the default user account of root. And you can even see that root is the username for multiple different like host names. And then it doesn't show you the password there, but you can see the root always has global privileges also, which is very important. Anyway, that's not, you don't need to go into that. But go back to the databases tab. So that's how you would make a new account if you want to do that. But default, root is always the username for the default account, and blank is the password for the default password. So very good. Now that once you make that database, again, you go to WP config. And so you can go back to the WP config file really quickly. And then you went ahead, open that now, open the one that you made. Oh, so you have two of them. That's fine, no big deal. It has WordPress EFAT, and then you correctly wrote the database username, which is root for the default one, and then you correctly put the password as blank, which is perfect, and then you left everything else the same, which is beautiful. So, and then that's basically all you have to do. You can now save that config file. So just to make it a little bit, clean, I want you to delete, go to your other WP config file. And let me see if that's the same setup that you, oh, one of them is a text document. Oh, I see.
Yeah, one of them says text document and the other says PHP file.
Okay, good. Yeah, so all you need is a PHP file version because the text document is not going to do anything. So, but that's perfectly fine. So they look very similar, I know. So you have to be very careful to make sure you actually save it as a PHP file. Otherwise, PHP won't be able to read it. So very good. Now that you have the WP config done, all you basically do is open up a web browser and then go to WordPress EFAT, and then it's going to ask you to install WordPress. And you've already gone through that step. You just go to localhost / instead of localhost, and instead of dashboard, you're going to put WordPress EFAT, the name of your database or your name of your folder, and then it's going to automatically create that. It's going to prompt you normally to install WordPress, but you've already installed WordPress, which is beautiful. And this is what it looks like when you finish installing WordPress, and you chose the default or the default theme, I believe, is chosen for you. It's 2024, the latest theme. Now let's go over how to edit this. So let's go to an easy way to access your WordPress dashboard. There's multiple ways. I think the easiest way is just to put login at the end of the URL. So go to the end of the URL and put login and hit enter. Yeah, and that takes you to the WordPress dashboard. By the way, I just want to quickly show you that so many websites on the internet use WordPress. Let me just demonstrate one big one for you. Go to City of Tempe website. Just go to tempe.gov. And I bet you tempe.gov, not .com. I'm going to be a little bit surprised if it's this easy, because for security reasons, you don't want people, for a website as big as tempe.gov, for example, you don't want it to be too easy for people to access it, because this is like a city, like a government website. But at the end of tempe.gov, put /login, and let's see what happens. Hit enter. Okay, very good. So they did their work very well. So that doesn't work. Now, actually, try WP admin. Try putting WP I add hyphen admin and see if that works. Instead of login, put WP hyphen admin. Because I know that they have a WordPress website running for the city of Tempe. I wonder if they did their like due diligence and made it hard to access. And very good, they did. Now let's try Chandler.gov. I'm pretty sure Chandler did not. Go to Chandler.gov. Oh, cityofchandler.gov. I'm sorry, cityofchandler.gov. Is it City of Chandler? Oh, Chandler AZ. No, chandleraz.gov. Sorry, take out City of. Yeah, chandleraz.gov. Okay, very good. Now, at the end of that, um, oh, I'm so sorry. Chandler does not use WordPress. My mistake. My mistake. Chandler does not use WordPress. There's another famous website that does use WordPress. Let me see. Let me think. There's so many. Let's just try. Let's try like a campaign website. Let's just do like um I don't know. Let's just try like let's try Katie Hobbs or whatever like that. Just Google Katie Hobbs. Katie Hobbs website. Yeah. All of their websites, I'm sure, are going to be using WordPress. So this is the governor of Arizona. Let's go to our campaign website, katiehobbs.org. Click on that. Or go to the website. Yep. So I know these people are usually pretty sloppy. So now put at the end of katiehobbs.org, put /login and hit enter. And boom. So that's how you know right away it's a WordPress website. It should never be that easy to access the login page for a WordPress website, but they're very sloppy. Politicians are generally not very, very careful. City employees are very careful when they build websites, but the governor should have a more secure website. So there's so many WordPress websites on the internet. Now you sort of know of a quick way to check if it's a WordPress website unless they did were careful about security, and they hid the login access. That's how easy it is to log into a WordPress website. Just put /login at the end of the URL. Okay, very good. You can close that. So now, EFAT, this is your login for your website, your personal website. Now, your username, perfect. When you install WordPress, you'll be allowed to choose a username and password. So make sure you remember the username and password you picked. Very good. Uh-oh. Establishing database connection. So, oh, look at the website you put. You put WP login. Let me see. Go to just WordPress effect and put admin at the end of it. So let me see. And just go there really quickly. Let me see. Oh, did you turn off the database? Go back to your XAMPP. You turned it off somehow. Huh, that's very odd. I wonder how that happened. Anyway, always double anytime that happens, make sure that WordPress that can actually talk to the database, just make sure that the database is on. Okay, now try it again. Okay, very good. And then go back to the login page. Very good. Very good. Perfect. Okay, so this is the WordPress dashboard. And last time I briefly discussed how to navigate this dashboard. Let's spend a little bit more time. Notice in the top left corner, you see a little WordPress icon in the top left corner, and it tells you about WordPress, how to go to WordPress.org. So anytime you have so there's support and there's feedback options. If you go to WordPress.org, you can ask them questions actually, but if they want you to know, be like a kind of like a developer. You're not going to be able to easily understand their feedback or their support. So you can use that, but notice that they expect you to have some background knowledge on WordPress before you ask them any questions. But that's always very useful. The next icon is the home icon. So you can always get back to the dashboard by clicking on this home icon. You can also look what the site looks like to people who are outside, anyone in the world by clicking on visit site. And that'll show you what, when you actually put this on a server, for example, on the internet, you'll see what they would see when they visit your website. This is what they see. Obviously, they won't see that top bar. This has like chosen gen or edit sites. They won't have that top bar at all. They'll just see everything below that top bar. Okay, go back. And then after that, there's a little icon for recent comments. So what's cool about PHP is because it has a database, databases are very, very convenient for storing comments. Obviously, everyone knows about YouTube comments. Everyone knows about PHP, like TikTok comments. PHP is how all those comments are usually being stored. In the case of YouTube, they use like JavaScript to probably store their comments, but a lot of websites for a long time, Facebook used PHP to store users' comments. A database like MySQL is like ideal for storing comments, websites that make use of comments. So anytime a new person makes a comment on any part of your website, it's going to show up there. And this is obviously if you enable a feature of allowing people to comment on that web page. Okay, so then after that, new is an easy way to make a new page, or obviously a new post or new media. So this is a way to create a new media file or upload image or any kind of media for your website. And then you can create a new user also. New users are very useful if you want to have like an organization. If you want, like we have in RCCG or Chosen Generation, now you have multiple people being able to manage the website, and you don't have to give everyone the password. You can create the access for different people. Let's say if you want someone to have admin to be able to delete the entire website if possible, you make them an admin. If you want other people to be able to just log in and make simple edits, you can make them like a user that doesn't have all the privileges of the admin. So it's very, very useful. And then to your far right is your username. And then this is how you edit your profile. And you can change your password using that area. You can like add a picture, and then you can log out of WordPress by clicking on log out. It's very useful oftentimes to assign yourself an email address. So click on edit profile. And it'll open up the edit profile section. By default, WordPress will give you an email address. And anytime someone like a lot of the themes, we'll go over what a theme is later on. A lot of the themes, when they have like an email field where they make it easier for people to send you email, the email address that's going to use, it's going to be the one that's below. So scroll down. It's going to be this email address right there. So the email address for him is soccerstarmessi102@gmail.com. So if you want to use a different email address for the default email address of your website, you would put it right there. And then you can see below that, it has your WordPress website URL. It's http localhost/WordPress. And then you could add some like information about yourself if you want to do that. And then you could add a profile picture if you want people to see your profile picture. This is very useful if you have like a members website, membership-based website. Okay, very good. Now we're going to look at the menu. So in the left menu, you can see the very first icon is the dashboard. That makes it easy to always get back to the dashboard. Just click on that, and you can easily get back to the dashboard. Below that, there's updates. Updates are usually for like latest information that you can see there's an update right there about WordPress's latest version. When you download plugins, all the updates, information about the plugin, latest information about the plugin is going to be under this update section. Posts are for WordPress is very good for making blogs. So when you make a blog and you want to make a new blog post, this is where you would create a new blog post. And it allows you to view all your blog posts. You can create a new blog post. You can categorize the blog posts. It's very, very convenient. And then below that is media. Go ahead and click on media and click on library. Yep. And this is going to open up your media library. And media library basically allows you to add all sorts of media to your website, video, like audio, images. Let's go ahead and add a new media file. And I want you to add, for the media file, I want you to add the Chosen Generation logo. To add it, I think you already downloaded it a while ago. If not, you can just download it really quickly by going to open up a new tab and going to chosengen.org, rccgchosengen.org. Very good. And we're going to grab the logo once it opens. So to grab the logo, you can see the logo right there at the very top. Right click on it. Either of the logo files should work. And then inspect just to make sure you're grabbing the correct logo image. And then in the inspector, in the web tools, when they open, you'll be able to see a preview of the logo before you actually download it. It's taking a little while to load. Very good. So you can see in the inspector, you see that file that ends in PNG and with image tags around it in the HTML code. Scroll up a little bit. It's a little bit hard to see, but you see the image tag in the HTML code. Yeah. Inside of that image tag, notice how there's like a width of 2706. There's all these like image files. Yeah, you can see when you hover over each of them, it tells you the size of the file. You can just basically click on any of them. We're not going to really be specific on size. Just hover over one of them again. And now click on the move your mouse over the current source. You know, it says there's a link that says current source. Click on that icon. Very good. And that should open up a new browser, open up a new page with just the image. And we'll let that load really quickly. You can click on it again just to make sure. Hover your mouse.
It keeps disappearing when I try to move to the current source.
Yes, it's a little bit tricky. Once it shows up, you just want to move your mouse down and click on the that URL. Or click on it, actually click on it first. Okay, very good. You got it. That's perfect. So now right click and then save. Save image as. And then you can save it whatever you want, give it whatever name you want. Just make it easy to find. And you saved it to your downloads folder. Very good. Now go back to media for your WordPress page. And then select files. And then select that file you just downloaded. Very good. And open that to upload it. So that's how you upload images to your WordPress media library. So now we're going to use that image file. Let's go to our pages, which is the next item on the menu. Pages shows you all the web pages for your current website. For a very basic website like the one we have right now, there's actually only 2 pages, a sample page and a privacy policy. And neither of them are actually being used. This website is extremely basic. It's just using the index.html page. So in order to edit it, hold on really quickly. Let me grab this bug. Never mind. Okay, anyway. All right, let's go to below that, you're going to see another link that says comments. Again, this is another place you can access comments through. And then appearance is how we're going to modify the appearance of this website. So you can see under appearance, there's themes and then there's editor. So editor lets you edit the current theme. So, but anytime you install a theme, so this lets you edit the current theme. This is how we're actually going to edit the current website. Let's just quickly upload the image that we downloaded. Let me just show you how that works. So let's wait for it to load. Now, hover over that image. That's the default image. Move the mouse and click on it. And it should give you the option to edit the image. Nope, you don't need to do get started. We're gonna I'll explain how you edit the site. You don't need to go through that tutorial. Yeah, click on that image. Click on the little image of that building. Yeah, notice how in WordPress, as soon as you clicked on the image, it gave you these options. One of them is replace. So what's nice about WordPress is you're editing a website, but it's a lot more user-friendly. You don't have to write code. You can just click on the image you see, and then there's like a button that says replace that pops up, and it lets you instantly replace. It lets you also upload it. It lets you resize it. It lets you do a lot of stuff. Let's click on replace, and then open up media library, and you can directly upload a file also if you want to use that. Click on media library, and then click on that logo, and then click on select. And you can see it instantly replace that image for you. So now save that. Save it. And now you can quickly see what the website looks like by clicking on, go to the left, upper left, and then clicking on view site. Upper left corner, and then click on view site just to see what the site looks like. You can sort of see what it looks like already, but click on the WordPress icon. And then, oh, I'm sorry, no, chosen gen, click over the next icon. And are you already in the site? Okay, I think you're already in the view site. So this is what the website looks like. You can see that it successfully edited the logo for you. So now go back to the dashboard. And go back to appearance. And we'll go back. Now we'll go to the themes section, themes page. So WordPress lets you install different themes. And themes are very, very powerful. Basically, a theme is like a template for a website. So it's like a full-blown template. And then once you install the template, all you have to do is change the pictures around. You can just like upload whatever pictures you got from like the internet, whatever pictures you downloaded from maybe like your social media. It makes it very easy to build a website because all the structure is inside the theme. And then all you have to do is change the text and then change the images to match, to customize whatever you want. So that's the way a lot of people make money as web developers is they build like a WordPress website. They find a nice looking theme and then they just change the images around. They install it in WordPress, then they change the images around, change the text around, and they charge people like thousands of dollars for a website, for web development. It makes web development extremely easy when you use WordPress. That's why almost everyone uses WordPress. Let me show you a really very nice theme theme store that a lot of people use to buy themes. Go on a new tab, go to Theme Forest, or just Google Theme Forest. Theme Forest is probably the biggest sort of theme store. A lot of WordPress, web developers in general, buy themes for apps, buy themes for, a lot of different stuff on Theme Forest, but it's really good for WordPress themes. Go ahead and click on that. And you can see it has all sorts of website themes, not just for WordPress, but a lot of people who build WordPress websites use Theme Forest. So let's just go ahead and search for like church themes, search church themes. In the search field, just put like church theme or whatever. Yeah. And then search. So you see all these like themes that are available for church websites. You can preview the theme, click on live preview. You can see what it would look like. And it's really amazing because almost every aspect of the website you see in the preview is going to be the same once you upload the theme. All you need to do is change the text to the text that you want, and then change the images to the images for your particular church. So it's taking a while to load. And you can see this is a very nice looking theme. All you would basically have to do is just like change those images to whatever images you want and change the text to whatever text you want. And you can build a very, very nice looking website using this theme. You don't have to do hardly any coding because all the coding is done for you. And the PHP is just spitting out that HTML code. Someone already wrote the code for you, and they're just using PHP to like echo out that code. Now you know how the echo feature works in PHP. They're echoing HTML with PHP, and it makes very, very like powerful looking websites. They always say the WordPress websites are a little bit kind of like cookie cutter, but I think sometimes they can look very, very nice. You're limited by default because you're echoing out HTML. So you're not like writing the HTML from scratch, you're echoing it with PHP. So it's always, you're a little bit limited in the control you have because you're just echoing it out. But it still looks very, very nice. Anyway, scroll down, you can see the rest of the theme. You can see it's a very nice looking theme. And they even have different like templates, it looks like, for the theme. Search like, go back and search like a video game like website or something, I don't know. And then just to show you another type that you can build almost any theme. We're gonna use a theme file called Enfold, but let's just search for, you can see that they have a lot of cool like gaming website themes. Click on that one that says Power Up real quick. And click on live preview. You can see a lot of these themes are cheap also. This is $39. For $39, you get to download the theme, and basically you get to use the theme permanently. The files are yours, and then even the support sometime for the first year is free. And then after the first year, you have to start paying for it. And you can see for this theme, they make heavy use of videos. So you have to have like a lot of video. That makes sense because it's a gaming website. So you want to upload like gameplay onto your website. But all you have to do once you download this theme is upload your custom gameplay, and boom, you have like a really nice looking video game website. And you can see comments are by default enabled. So you don't even have to do anything. The comments just come with the theme. Once you download the theme, people will be able to make comments on your website. It's very, very cool. Scroll all the way to the top. So what a lot of people do is they find the right theme that they want, and then they buy that theme. Some people spend like thousands of dollars on a theme. I like ThemeForest because you can get a theme for as cheap as like 40 bucks. And it's a very nice looking theme. Okay, very good. Now go back to, let's go back to WordPress. Go back to the themes, themes page. Very good. So by default, WordPress gives you three themes. It gives you 2024, 2023, and 2022. Let's just see what happens when you install a new theme. Right now, we're using 2024. That's the active theme. Let's go ahead and click on 2023 and install and activate that. And you can see what it looks like really quickly before by clicking live preview. But we'll just activate it really quickly. And as soon as we activate it, actually, you know what? It looks very similar. Oh, never mind. Okay, so once you activate it, the old theme becomes like changes position. That's why I was a little bit confused. So activate 2023. And now you see that it's now the active theme. So now let's go ahead and look at our website. Let's see what it looks like. Click on go to the Chosen Gen in the Home tab and click on View Site. Visit site, yeah. So now you see what a new theme looks like. So scroll down. Notice our image is gone because this new theme doesn't make use of that image. It's kind of like a text-based theme. So, but some of the stuff we customize is the same. Notice how it still says Chosen Gen. So because Chosen Gen is text, it's actually in the database. So that's not going to change no matter what theme, depending on the theme you put in. But the image that we used, that was specific for that theme. Now that image is gone because you installed a new theme. Let's go back to the other themes. Yep, very good. You can also get there. And let's use 2022. Let's activate that theme. And now go to visit site. Let's see what that looks like. See, 2022 looks completely different. So like that's how you make, and again, notice chosen gen is still there. The text is still there because that text is in the database. So any theme that you install, it's gonna always have that text because that's in the database. But the image we used is gone. Now let's go ahead and edit this image with the logo. Go to edit, go to a theme. There's multiple ways of doing it. The easiest way, the most consistent way is go to appearances and then click on customize. So go to the dashboard. Go to appearances and then editor. Yeah. Or yeah, editor. And that's going to let you edit the current theme. So notice how this theme has a nice little loader. I don't know if you noticed that preloader, but it looks very cool. And it has these like little circular preloaders. So 2022 theme looks okay. I do like 2024 theme a little bit better myself, but by default, you get those little circular loaders. So whenever someone visits your site and something isn't loaded yet, they'll see that little circle icon that's like loading. That shows that that page is still loading. We'll wait for it to finish loading. Very good. So now scroll down. Let me see if we can find that. Okay, very good. It's at the top. Yeah. Now click on the that bird image. And once you click on the bird image, you should see the option to replace it. Did you click on it? You clicked on it? Okay, very good. Now you notice you see edit. So click on edit, that edit icon that popped up. Okay, click on the bird again. And now click on replace. And then open media library. And then replace it. Notice how your chosen gen is still there because that's in your database. So no matter what theme you install, usually your database files will still be there. There are some exceptions to that. There are some themes where when you download the theme, it's going to wipe out your database of images. And it'll ask you permission before it does that. But these themes just leave your images intact. So go ahead and click on select. And notice how that's how you change that image now. Because the background is blank and the text is a little bit dark. That's why it looks a little bit weird. So you can go ahead and save. And now you can go back to view the site and you can see that it actually changed the logo for you. Very good. So you can see that it changed the image. The default bird image is now changed for that theme. Let's go back and use 2024 again. Yeah, go back to 2024. And we're going to go to themes. And we're going to use 2024. Activate it. Very good. Now just click on view site. And I wonder if the logo is still going to be there, or if it's going to wipe it. Very good. So the logo is still there. So it remembered our settings. Even though we installed different themes, as soon as we install the theme again, it automatically like associated the right stuff with the database file. So everything looks very good. Okay. Now let's go ahead and change the text. For changing the text on this particular theme, it's very easy to do. So go to the appearances and then the editor again. And this has a little nice loader also, that little line. That's going to show up for everyone who visits the website. So that's very nice. Now to edit that text, it says a commitment to innovation and sustainability. Let's change that to welcome to RCCG chosen generation. Basic EFAS basic version, or something like that. So just change it to welcome to RCCG. Click on the text. And then it's going to show you, to edit it, you can just type directly. Just type welcome to RCCG chosen generation. Chosen generation. And then now edit the text below that little subheading text, yeah, and change that to EFAS version. So it's like your version of the church website. Okay, very good. Now click on save. And instead of about us, change the about us button to say contact us. Click on the button. And then just change the text to contact us. And then save that. So you can see it's very easy to edit a WordPress website. It's like very, very like user-friendly. You just click on the stuff that you want to change, and then you can instantly change it. It's very, very nice. Scroll down. You can edit all of this text. We'll, for the sake of time, we're over time today. So maybe we'll do editing of the text next time. But let's do one very important thing. So what we're going to actually do is we're gonna take the current WordPress website for the church, and we're going to duplicate it onto your machine. So to do that, let me quickly show you what a plugin is. Go back to the dashboard. So this is your version of the website. That's very nice. But what we want to be able to ultimately do is basically build out the exact copy of the church website onto your local machine, like the literal exact copy of that website onto your machine. That's what we ultimately want to be able to do. Click on plugins. So plugins are perhaps the most powerful feature of WordPress. Plugins are like little apps, almost like an app store on your phone, that WordPress developers have made that make it extremely, extremely easy to do almost anything you could possibly think of doing in WordPress. There's a plugin for like adding, I think I showed you before, TikTok. TikTok like little like a feed, for adding like a Facebook feed, for adding like a Twitter feed, for adding like a YouTube feed. There's any kind of plugin you can possibly imagine for adding like a live stream feed. There's a lot of different plugins that people have written code for. It's like an app store. So plugins make building a WordPress website very, very easy. Let's search for the plugin called Duplicator. And then search for that, Duplicator. And once you install WordPress onto your machine, it's going to go out to the internet. Oh, click on Add New Plugin. Sorry. So it's showing you all the ones you have right now. But when you click on Add New Plugin, it's going to take you to the library of plugins, which is like on the internet. So search Duplicator. And hit enter. And it's going out to the internet and looking for all the plugins available for WordPress. And there's a lot of them. We're searching, we just need the one called Duplicator. So we're gonna, we don't actually need to install it, but let me, yeah, we don't actually need to install it. This is how you would install Duplicator if you wanted to install it. We don't actually, I don't believe we need to. Let's install another plugin. Let's install Contact Form 7. Search Contact Form 7. Oh, actually, no, there's an even better one. I want you to install File Manager. That's a very useful plugin. File Manager is probably one of the most useful plugins you can install. And there's different versions of it. There's different made by different people. The one I like most is the one that says Advanced File Manager. You can see how many installations it has. 100,000 people plus have installed this plugin. And it's very well liked. It has 5 stars, 5-star rating. So go ahead and install that one. and you'll see what a plugin allows you to do. It's this plugin in particular is very, very cool. And it's kind of a big file, so it takes a little bit of time to install it. Okay, very good. So now I'll give you the option to activate it. So if you go to click on activate. And as soon as you activate it, you're gonna see like the icon for the plugin pop up in your menu. And you can actually build your own plugins. Building a plugin is not too difficult. You can build your own plugins and put it onto the plugin store. Just like you can build your own apps, of course, and put it on the Play Store or the Apple Store. And building a plugin for WordPress is very lucrative. A lot of people make a lot of money by building plugins where different features of the plugin charge you money. So it's a very nice way for a lot of people use to earn income. Click on activate to activate the plugin. And once you activate it, it'll let you know that it's activated. And you can also check if it's been activated by clicking on the install plugins link in the left menu. Notice how there's installed plugins. If you click on install plugins, you'll see all the plugins that have been installed. I'll click on that. And you can see that it looks like it's taking a little bit of time to load. Once we activate that plugin and we just quickly explore it for a couple of minutes, then we'll go ahead and end for tonight. I don't want to take too much time. And then next time we'll actually start uploading. Close the theme stuff. Yeah, you can close the theme stuff. That's probably what's going on. Yeah. The theme forest web files, these are very heavy websites or web pages. Yeah. Good idea. Okay, so these are all the plugins that have been installed. You can see File Manager Advanced is there. It looks like it's already activated. Oh, very good. So now notice that there's a new icon in your menu. It says File Manager. That's what a plugin will do, is it's going to add its own like custom icon. Sometimes the icon for the or the menu item for the plugin is hidden inside of tools. Sometimes it's hidden inside of settings. The best way to find it is usually just to go into your installed plugins and read the information, the details about the plugin. Notice how there's a link that says View Details under the plugin. Inside of the plugins page. Yeah. Notice how there's a link that says View. That's always an easy way to find out where the plugin has been installed onto inside of WordPress. But here it's very easy. They just put an icon right there for you to access. So go ahead and click on the icon. Yeah, this will tell you how the plugin is working. So it's very, very useful. Anytime you install a plugin and you're wondering how it's where the plugin is and how to like find it, this is going to give you a lot of information about the plugin. Go ahead and close that. And now click on the file manager icon that was just created. And what this plugin basically does is it lets you access the files on your server directly. So you don't have to like go out of WordPress at all. So it makes like, notice how you can see the WP config file right there. Like you don't have to like go outside of WordPress into your machine. It's put the entire htdocs folder inside of WordPress for you. So it makes like building a WordPress website extremely easy. There are instances where you want to actually edit the WordPress files directly. it's very rare. For example, if you want to build like a custom, um, custom like web page that's not a PHP web page, and you want to integrate it to your WordPress website, like it's an HTML page or something. You can easily write that HTML code and integrate it directly into your website without ever having to leave WordPress, because this plugin lets you do that. Normally, you'd have to like access the server. You don't have to access the server. This little plugin gives you access to the files on the server, and it's a very nice looking interface. It looks just like any folder in like Windows. For example, you can click on those folders and it's going to open up the folder. Click on the WP content folder, for example. If you double click on it, it's going to open up that folder for you, just like it would on your machine. And you can see the index.php file is there. Go back to go back a level, just click on the back icon. So it's a very nice plugin. Now look at the WP config. To open up a file, just click on the file. Let's look inside your WP config file really quickly. And now to open it, the PHP, it doesn't matter which version. To open it, all you have to do is, so you double clicked on it, that downloads it. To view the contents, click on the file itself. And then notice that eye. You see that eye icon in the menu? That eye icon is how you're going to open it. So click on the eye. It's a little bit difficult to see. Yes, yeah. And that shows you the preview of the file. And you can like scroll through and you can even edit the file. So you can just quickly look at the contents of the file by clicking on that icon for the to look inside the file. And when you want to edit the file, go ahead and close that by clicking on the X. When you want to edit the file, you'll click on, where's the edit button? There's a little pencil, I believe. Edit file. Okay, click on that. There's a little pencil with the document, and when you click on that, it's going to let you edit the file directly. And let's just type like I edited this in a WordPress plugin inside of the comment section. Let's just like put at the very bottom of everything. Let's just put like a comments at the very bottom. Like put like a 2 slashes. And write, I edited this in a plugin, a WordPress plugin. Yeah, that's fine. And then save it. To save it, you just click on save. And now go onto your machine, like go to your Windows machine and go into your XAMPP folder or your HTDocs folder. You can open up the XAMPP control panel. Yep. And then open up the Explorer. And then go to HTDocs. And then go to WordPress effect. And then click on the WP config, the PHP version. I think that's the one we edited. And now open that and open that with yeah, that's already open. Now scroll all the way down to the bottom. And look at what I added this in a plugin. So it lets you directly access any file that's on your server. In this case, your server is obviously your laptop, your computer. It's a very, very useful plugin. So you don't have to navigate away from WordPress to edit files directly on your machine, in the server, that is. So, okay, go ahead and go back to the WordPress page. Now, let's go ahead and I think that's basically all we'll do for tonight. So what I'll do next time is we're going to actually start migrating the Chosen Gen website onto our machine. To do that, let me show you how to log into our website for church. Go to RCCG Chosen Generation, that website. And now you can close out the web tools, the development tools, and put /login at the end of the URL to log in. And since everyone here is a member of church, Brocola is going to be, I think, just the only one who's not, so that's no big deal. The username for the church website is admin. And then the password is going to be chosen gen, capital lowercase g, capital C and lowercase g, chosen gen. And then click on login. Yeah, capital C, lowercase g. Very good. And you can see we have a lot of stuff, a lot of different plugins. Notice we have File Manager. We have that File Manager plugin installed also on our WordPress website for the church. We have a lot of different plugins installed, so it's a little bit confusing. But now you get the general idea. You know what the basic stuff is. Now that you know what a WordPress dashboard looks like, you can tell instantly what is a plugin, what is not made by a plugin. And that's very important. So you know, like right away, which things on the menu were generated by a plugin because you know what a dashboard looks like when there are no plugins installed. So that's very, very good to know. So you see that we have a lot of stuff that's not like in your default, your basic menu, because we added a lot of plugins. So let's look at the plugin we're going to use to actually migrate the website onto your machine. And that plugin is called, click on plugins. You're going to see it's a little bit hard to find because we have so many of them. Scroll down. Yeah. So it's all the way at the bottom. And so that shows you all the plugins we have. Scroll down. And now you see all this stuff, by the way, in WordPress at the very top. That's all generated by plugins, by the way. If you scroll up, all these advertisements, these are generated by plugins. Notice how it's like Speedy Cache is installed, Redux, action needed to continue using this template library. All these are generated by different plugins we installed. It can get very annoying. To get rid of them, just click on the X in the right. And that's going to close out that like advertisement. Yeah. And click on that to close that out. Click on dismiss that also, the free trial of the social feed plugin. Yeah, so that makes things a lot, scroll up a little bit more. Jetpack, close that one out also. Oh, that doesn't have a, hold on. Why doesn't that have an X? Oh, so look at this advertisement. It's other way at the top. It's at the top. Just click on Ask Me Later. See, some of them make it very difficult to close it out. Anyway, those are all advertisements that you can close out. That's actually a plugin advertisement, so you can easily like delete that stuff to make it a little bit easier to navigate. Anyway, let's scroll down and notice we have Duplicator installed on this website. That's what we're using to duplicate the website onto our local machine. So Duplicator is a little bit complicated to use. I'll show you a quick overview of how to use it next week. There's a lot of different features for Duplicator, but what we can actually do in the meantime is open up Duplicator by scrolling down in your menu. And then you see the duplicator icon near the bottom. Oh, in the left menu. And you'll see the duplicator icon. Click on that. Oh, below. It's all the way at the bottom almost. It's all at the bottom. Yep, there it is. You click on settings. Yeah, you click on it. And what Duplicator allows you to do is basically make backups of your website. So we already created one. You can click on Create New. Just to show you how it's done. When you click on Create New, click on that. It's going to ask you what's the name you want to give to your backup file. So it gives you a name by default, which is 2024, and the date and the year, the month and the day, which is 06/30 for today. And then after that, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it gives you the options of where to store it. By default, it gives you the option of storing it on the server, but I always elect to store it on my local machine. Once you elect where to store it, you'll click on Next. And then it's going to scan the site to see if it's able to make a backup. And if everything looks good, it says, if you see icons that say good, that means it's okay to make a backup. So we're not going to make a backup. We already made a backup. So to look at the current backups, all you have to do is click on packages or go back to the duplicator homepage by clicking on duplicator. Packages, that's fine. And the backup that I made is that very first one that says 603 megabytes. What you can do is actually download that. Click on it really quickly. Click on the click on that icon to the far right. Package details, click on it. Click on general, archive. And very good. Now click on that icon that says archive 603 megabytes and download that onto your machine. Very good. And also click on the storage. Click on storage and then scroll down. Actually, no, that's not there. Oh, click on the installer. So the installer is going to be like a file that lets you install the archive. I think that's actually going to come included in the zip file, I believe. So, okay, yeah, it does come included in the zip file. So, yeah, it says the installer is also available inside the archive file. So you can see that it's downloaded the archive for you. That's good. So next week, I want maybe everyone, if you can do that before next week, log into the Chosen Generation WordPress website and then download the archive file so that we can upload that to our WordPress, our local installation of WordPress next week. So we can basically build the church website locally on our machine using the duplicator plugin. Okay, we'll wrap that up for today. So do that, please, by next week. Log into the Chosen Gen website. Now everyone knows the password. And then I'll upload the video for this week very shortly. Log into the church website and download that archive file onto your machine by next week. Okay, so have a good week, rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.